Hello everyone, and welcome back to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. How is everyone? How is everyone doing? It is Friday, the 22nd, and I am Amobi Owoh. I will be sitting with you, and we will be enjoying this nice, chill animation stream together. So I actually feel a bit bad. I ended up not doing any sort of animation or art yesterday. I just chilled out at home, went by the mall, went downtown. Then I just sort of came back home and I chilled out some more. I didn't even watch TV, I think. I was just enjoying myself. But now it's back to work. It's back to, regularly scheduled programming. And I have to work on this animation. It's good to see you all. It's good to see everything going as it should. Um, what's difficult for me is I'm trying to figure out how I want to animate this layer. So let me just sort of rough it out. Let's see, let me use the blue ink and I am going to so I'm redoing this entire animation. Everything is actually pretty good. I'm just working on this segment right here. Excuse me. You know what? I forgot to take my Zyrtec medicine and now I'm sneezing, so pretty much I completed my first pass. And so this is what I have so far with my I think this is my either second pass or no. I finished my first pass. I've now finished my second pass where I sort of rough out more details. And so this is what I have so far. Now the main issue I'm coming into is this section right here where it's just not smooth enough. Either I don't have enough frames or it just wasn't a good motion that makes sense. So I'm going to try and redo this segment over here. No, I may just have to animate all of this on ones and see how that turns out. Now let's see here. foreshortening is really not my strong suit. What I'm trying to do is sort of have a in between right here where it appears as though the character is moving back, and then I also want sort of this segment where he is beginning to sort of raise his arm up. So let's see if I can't do that. Now then, I wonder if I can. I'm trying to now figure out a figure out some geographical shapes, and I'm looking at this figure through sort of an X-ray lens, if that makes sense. This is my first time doing a real uh this is my first time doing a real foreshortening intensive animation, at least for this specific segment. So I really hope that I do a good job. 36 minutes in, and I'm doing pretty good, if I do say so myself. I think it's coming together. I just needed to take some time to draw it all frame by frame, hand by hand. While I take a little. Hmm. So let me finish these last two segments, and then I can do a bit of a wind down. Now, after I finish this stream, I'm probably going to upload a short because I did have this one idea for a nice short. It may be like an excerpt from one of my live streams, but that's sort of my plan, my thought process. Hmm. So after I finish this animation and do my cleanup and my pass and everything, I'll go to color and then I'll composite it in After Effects again. And I've actually really liked just how much better I've recently gotten in After Effects. Everything is just so much better now, at least I think so. I think my skills have gotten better. I think I've definitely grown and evolved, and I've just started to like my work more. I mean, I know I'm not perfect. I don't think I'll ever be perfect, but it's these small incremental leaps and bounds in development I've made that really keep me going, especially right now with pretty much everything that's happened with the difficulties in animation and This has been quite fun and quite entertaining for me. Just everything, really. Working on YouTube, working on more animations, my plans and ideas for my own original show. Just everything, really. All I really need is just that maybe one or two industry roles. Like, what I really want is to just work on one or two shows. Then I feel like that would give me the experience I need to go independent and start my own animation studio, at least in Raleigh. Like, I feel as though, and I genuinely think that there needs to be more studios and there needs to be more corporations outside of that LA, Los Angeles bubble. Because if there was more than just one Hollywood, we wouldn't be facing as many difficulties in the industry as we are today. If things were just a bit more easier for everybody, things would get better. Because I'll tell you right now, at least from my personal experience, the industry is very picky choosy. Like, they don't take chances on anybody. They rarely do. They rarely do take chances on people and give people outside of Hollywood jobs or chances to work. So you have to literally pick up everything, relocate, and move if you want to find work. And I'm very much a community man, a community person, so I don't think I could move across the country just for work. think that's good. Pretty good, pretty decent, because I want to. So my thing is that I want to slow this down. Like, this is actually more frames than I intended. So I wonder if I can duplicate this and then I can just play with some of these frames right here, because it is going pretty fast. So let me just duplicate this layer. I'm going to hide this. And then I'm going to play with some of my frames. See if I can't slow this down in a 1 second interval. I wonder if I can remove this frame. And then remove this frame as well. I wonder if I put this on forward. Because when I'm frames. What I definitely like about animation is how it requires you to really think, slow down and think, and try to piece together how this is going to all mesh well and be one big cohesive project. And so even though I have this loop tool right here, what can also be beneficial and what can even help you is to sometimes even look at the project as a whole to try and figure out if this is really the motion, the route, and the avenue you want to go to for this project. So actually I will have to hide this. Now, my question now becomes, do I risk it and lengthen this segment to 2 seconds instead of one? Or is it fine where it is? Because I can go those two routes with this. If I do go 2 seconds, it may help, but then at the same time, it may hurt the animation instead. So that is what I will do. I will double the length. I will then hide that guideline right there. And now let's see. Now, in doubling the speed, I did sort of figure out or realize what I wanted to affect and alter for this animation. So what I really wanted was to sort of lengthen this segment right here. And it's only until about right here is when I wanted it to pick up and then sort of slow down. And you know what? I didn't animate the wings. That's actually kind of okay because the wings are sort of secondary. Not necessarily secondary, but I can sort of animate those later. The main thing I wanted to do was the body first. So then I had an idea of what to and what not to do. And then I'm gonna need to go back and sort of animate this segment of his robes flowing in the wind. That's gonna be more fun than harrowing or time consuming. I really just want to focus on this segment right here. But for now, I just need to take like a break for a second to sort of calm my mind and gather my senses and ideas. At least for a quick second. That's what really helps is when you just take a second to calm down and gather yourself whenever you're animating or working on a project. Now, I will say that in animation, it is good to take your time and try not to rush yourself. I feel like that's what I did. Oh, hello. Hey, Narish. Nice to meet you. How are you today? I just saw uh your post in the chat. Nice to meet you. How are you? Welcome to Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. And what was I saying? Something about animation. Oh yes. Know that it's fine to take your time. When I was first starting out with my indie animation, I was afraid that I would, I don't know, slow down or I wouldn't be able to catch up to other indie animators, but I do feel like I found a nice equilibrium. Like yesterday, I didn't even animate at all. Like that's the wild part. Yesterday, the only thing I really did was go to the mall, buy like some nice pants for church. Then I came home, went back out, went downtown, had like a nice lunch at a Creole restaurant, read the bought a book, The Divine Comedy, read some of that, and then I just went straight home. I didn't even watch TV, I think, or if I did, that was like later at night at around, I want to say, like 10 o'clock. It's just, I felt so, I guess, forced and pushed to animate, trying to catch up with imaginary people that it's taken a hampering on me. So, just sometimes it is good to just take a day off, like so you don't stress. I think that's one of the good things I learned, especially from religion. You know, growing up in a Christian household, like the Sabbath was always important because that's your sort of day of rest where you just do nothing. And I do definitely feel more recharged now that I had sort of a day off because I don't think I've had like a true day off where I just did nothing in a long, long time. It's always been trying to reach my next step, reach my next milestone, reach my next journey. So that was really good for me. Okay. Now, I do think I should add another in between frame to this. Yeah, another in between frame because it feels like it's doing another cut. can zoom in and I'm going to do another in between. Ooh, looks like I peaked in viewers. Hello, everyone. How is everyone doing? I see so many new faces. Are my neighbors doing something? Dang, that little chihuahua goat just freaking ran out there. You see, that's one of the things I don't like is like in my neighborhood, folks just let their dogs run wild. Like there are little chihuahuas, toy poodles. Yesterday, one of my neighbors had two pit bulls out, and I'm like, y'all can't be letting your pets out like that. It's dangerous for people. Like if someone gets bit or someone gets attacked by your dog, and something happens to that person or your dog, like you're held responsible for that. Some folks just don't freaking care and they'll just let their pets run out free range. Like this is a suburb, okay? We're not in the country where you can just let your pets out and roam the woods. Like we don't live. This is a suburb. Capitol Boulevard is literally right down the street. Cause, cause one of these days, someone is gonna get attacked by one of those pets. Like I just know it. Anyway, I was talking about what I've been doing yesterday, and I started reading this copy of the Divine Comedy I picked up at Barnes and Nobles. And so, what I think I'm gonna do is definitely try to draw inspiration from Dante's Inferno, especially Dante's Purgatorio and Paradiso, because while I took inspiration for from Witches 13, but for for like the Book of Enoch and stuff like that with fallen angels, I would like to incorporate some more religious texts as well as religious themes into it, just to sort of show this utopian society. Like, if I could describe the world of Witches 13, a world where everyone can use magic and has access to this power that allows them to shape and reshape the world to their liking, I would definitely describe it as a utopia with echoes of sort of past misgivings and past mistakes, if that makes sense. Because in the year 2000, that was when the Cascade occurred, and the Cascade was this sort of near apocalyptic event which nearly caused the destruction of the earth, but it also caused magic to return, allowing people to everyone. There's no like special chosen one or only like a small group of people that can use magic. The entire world can use magic, affect the world, and sort of alter things to their liking and desires. So that's a very interesting concept to where you have societies like floating buildings using magic as a resource to power objects and machinery. Things like teleportation, flying cars, floating buildings, floating land masses are commonplace. Underwater societies are also very commonplace as well. So I really want to show sort of this paradise on earth aesthetic. But because everyone is human, because everyone is mortal still, they do still have temperaments, feelings, emotions from their past lives, from the world without magic. So now there are people who have access to magic and they're essentially masters who can, create potions or do these amazing feats that have sort of been able to etch out small empires and small societies for themselves, allowing them to gain social status that they didn't have in the past, that they didn't have before. And so people who have power now, some of them have become corrupted, but others, they actually desire to make the world a better place. And the people who were the top dogs in the past, when there wasn't any magic, they have either grown exponentially more powerful, and now they have mega corporations and mega companies that have influence over entire regions, or because magic has made their service or industry obsolete because now everyone has easier access to certain things, they have sort of become, they have sort of fallen from grace. So it's very much this story and world that while it has echoes of our real world, it is still very much new and different. Okay, time for a little cheat code. Now, this is a little bit of a cheat code. Sometimes you do want to copy an old layer and resize it or alter it in some way. It is completely fine to do something like this. Just don't abuse it too much. I think that's better. Now, what was I talking about? Witches 13 is a world in which magic has returned, yada yada yada, floating buildings. And so the main story, at least where the Witches 13 comes in, is that there are 13 men and women who are seeking revenge for being wronged. Now, 13 main characters is a lot. I know that's going to be a lot of main characters, but they're not all going to be in the same episodes. Like, it's going to be very episodic. So, while there is an overarching story of seeking revenge, there will be certain episodes where certain characters interact more with others. Or there will be special episodes where character A and character F might work together on a mission or go over some idea or concept, and then character G and B might work on a mission together. And then B might meet with A, and A might meet with G, and it's very much a story about character interactions. Now, if it does boil down to it, I may sort of dial it back, dial it down on the number of main characters to where it may just be a cast of 13, and then the actual organization will probably be smaller than that. It's just that there is a reason why I chose 12, and it's because actually I sort of gave away the secret. But essentially, even though it's called Witches 13, it's actually sort of a tie in or a reference to the 12 disciples in the Bible and how each of the different disciples represent sort of a mission or a holy aspect, like purity, guidance, knowledge, temperance, things like that. And so this 13th figure, the 13th witch, is more so a Jesus figure or a subverted Jesus figure. That is Owoh, who is sort of the leader. He is the founder of Witches 13, in which he essentially died and came back. And so now that he has been resurrected, he wants revenge against those who have wronged him. It's like I'm just thinking like, do I really want to make a show with 13 main characters and then like 3, 4 supporting casts and then 5 antagonists? Because that's a lot of people. So, hmm. Yeah, I could definitely downsize this, downsize the cast. It's just I'm so much into it right now that I'm almost excited. Like, do I really want to make? Now, what I could do is, uh, I'll probably do some more research. I'll probably look more into like the Book of Enoch, as well as maybe even the Ars Goetia and the Divine Comedy, and do some more research on these subjects and on these topics because while aesthetically 13 would be nice, would be good, just thinking about having 13 main characters could be very taxing. Now, what I do know is that as far as numbers go, 3, 4, 7, and 12 are very biblical, Christian sort of numbers. Like, there are 4 archangels, there are 3 states of God, the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. The number 7 is also very important. There are 7 heavenly virtues, and there are 7 heavenly virtues and 7 deadly sins. Ooh, actually, what I could do is I could do like the 5 things God hates, the 6 is deplorable, where it's like these characters are based on sort of 5 wrongdoings that were done against them. And so the 6th, the most deplorable, could be like the leader. I could redo it that way. Like, that would be very nice and very interesting for me to do. Um, Let me actually look it up. So it's, yeah. So like 6 things God hates, 7 is detestable. And so what I'll do with that is each of these 7 main characters represents one of the thing God hates as sort of this righteous fury, this righteous justice that they are trying to exact upon those who have wronged them. So yeah, I think. But Witches 13 has such a nice ring to it. I'll have to downsize. Oh my gosh. It's fine. It's fine because I already have, like, I want to say. Wait, there's. Well, let me actually count how many characters I have. There's Ao the leader, um, Nancy, Trina, Dutch. There's the pop star character. There is Samuel. And I feel like I need maybe one more female character would like round them out. So then it can be like 3 girls, 4 boys. Wait, 3. Yeah, I'll find, and then I have that other character. So actually, yeah, I think I am gonna downsize. Now I have to sort of like redo my whole. Actually, I really don't have to redo much because I haven't really had the chance to sort of world build and character build. But this is nice. This is fun. Like 7 main characters, 2 sort of deuterotagonists. I'll do 7 antagonists, or like maybe 8 antagonists. And then I'll have like my neutral character, which is Father Jovial. the one I'm animating right now. And so, ooh, that actually gives me an idea. So, the seven things God hates, I can also tie those back to sort of seven, the seven heavenly virtues as well as the seven deadly sins. And it can be sort of this subversion and inversion of themselves. Where it's like, love is the opposite of lust, and pride is the opposite of humility. Where Ao, because Ao was a very humble person, even though he had small echoes of pride and echoes of confidence in sort of his discoveries and what he did. And so it was an act of pride that sort of led to his fall and his sort of air quotes death that then led him to seeking revenge. You then have Dutch, who was very loving. Like, Dutch's whole backstory is that he wanted to become a father. He's a military veteran, and so he had a chance, an opportunity to earn a higher wage, earn more money. And so he said, you know what, I'll take this like super soldier magical enhancement, like it will advance my career. Turns out those enhancements that he took led to him becoming barren. So he can no longer sire children. And because of that, he sort of fell into a depression where he now seeks to. He sort of divorced his fiance, and then he now seeks pleasure as a form of escapism so that he can still feel like he is assisting in some way to the world. You then have Nancy. His whole story is that he is sort of this blend between envy and generosity, in which he is jealous of other people for having stable lives, but in that same vein, he is also very giving and very kind. Nancy is the youngest member of this organization. He's like 12 years old, and so you're thinking like, oh, why does a 12-year-old want revenge? Well, it's because his parents were subject to an experiment. Like, his parents were scientists, but they were sort of trapped in an experiment that led to them getting hurt in a way that essentially made them regress mentally. So now Nancy has to grapple with working on schoolwork, taking care of his parents, as well as getting enough money to make sure that the house can stay afloat and stay stable. So he is envious of other people who have a more stable life than him. But he's also generous in the sense that despite his anger, despite his rage, despite his envy, he is still trying to give much of himself to every other sort of group, faction, organization that he's a part of. He's always giving to his school. He's always trying to give to his parents. He's always trying to give to the team that he's on. You then have Trina, who is sort of like the second in command. She is another scientist, much like Ao. Only her thing is that she is very much wrath and patience, where she was very patient, very put together. She's a scientist. She discovered many different uses that magic could be used for. Her entire style of magic is sort of this mixing and blending of different chemical formations in order to have separate effects. She is very much a spell weaver. So she discovered different spells, different usages for magic, though her credit was stolen from her, which led to her having this sort of meltdown and rage that essentially caused her to be excommunicated from the scientific community. And so now she is seeking justice for what was taken and stolen from her. And so now that I'm downsizing it, this definitely does give my head some more room for more concepts, more ideas, different themes and stuff that I have to go with and play with. And that's actually something I do really like is just taking that second, taking that time to sort of think like, do I really want to make 13 main characters? No? Okay, then let me just downsize it to like 7. And now that I have done that, things definitely do feel a whole lot better for my concept, for my idea. Ooh, and it's also gonna be like this idea and this theme of like 777, which is already such a holy number. Like that's ooh, this is even better. Now I'm getting goosebumps. Now I have to like after this stream, I'm just going to like spend like maybe a few hours to just do some more research and write down some more things. Oh, and that even goes back to like the divine comedy, even of like the 7 layers of hell, the 7 layers of purgatory, and the 7 layers of heaven. Like this is okay. This is truly biblical. Like how everything is coming together. And then like I could also probably tie this back into other main characters. Like I could have 4 sort of police officers instead of 2, and they can be related to like the 4 archangels like Raphael, Michael, Uriel, and Gabriel. And so they're sort of like these overseers. And so then when it comes to like Ao, Father Jovial, and the main antagonist, that can be sort of like a trinity of like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Where or like this dark reflection of that Holy Trinity, where Father Jovial is sort of like this Holy Spirit or this spiritual energy. The main antagonist is the Father, and he's sort of like controlling everything, and he has like the most influence. And then Ao, being the Son, is sort of like this underdog. Or actually, no, I could have like 3 separate characters for that. But yeah, this is fun. This is exciting. Me thinking of different concepts and themes for my show. For well, I'm gonna have to find a new name. Maybe like the 7 sages, or you see when you base your show off of the number 13, and you have 13 being a big element, it now becomes difficult for you to think of anything else. But this is very exciting, and I'm glad to have just taken this time to sit down and think and brainstorm with you all. That's why I like live stream, because it allows for me to take the time to really think about the different things that I'm working on. And even though it can get like pretty wild and crazy, I'm still very thankful for just everything, really. Like, I feel like if I didn't have this, I don't know what I'd be doing. I'd probably just be, consigned to my fates, probably flipping burgers somewhere. But despite everything, I'm still trying my best to have the future concepts and future ideas that I want, love, and enjoy. And now that I've downsized, I can definitely focus on a smaller knit group of people. And even though, yes, seven main characters is gonna be difficult, it still will allow for more character interactions and sort of character prompts and character moments. And there'll still be time where not every character needs to be in every episode. There can be episodes and moments where they're each doing their own thing or going to their own places or off screen. And now that I've actually sort of downsized everything, I can sort of. Hmm. Actually, yeah, now that I've downsized the characters, that does give me more ideas. Like, I do think that at most, all this series needs is like 3 seasons. And, like, I'll name the seasons like Inferno, Purgatorio, Paradiso. So another play on that. And then the episodes can be like 12 episode long seasons. And so, like, the first season is gonna be them plotting and planning. Sort of, that's gonna be their hell where they're going through like a bunch of hardships. And this is where you actually get a lot of the bulk of the backstory of each character. And so, by the end of season 1, that is when they fail. And sort of, the end of season 1 is when they have their very first big failure. And after that season 1 time, in season 2 is going to be them sort of reformatting themselves and realizing that, revenge isn't the way to go, but we do need our justice. And so after they sort of reformat that and sort of go forth to get their justice and eventually succeed, season 3 will be sort of this final wrap up of tying up loose ends. So I definitely do think that it will be good and appropriate to go in with, 3 seasons max. That's all you guys need. And then after that, any other story is gonna be like parody or not follow. We're gonna still be in the same world, but not following these 7 core characters. So I do think that after adding that extra frame, it has definitely helped the smooth transition. Those extra 2 frames, it has helped with the smooth transition between these scenes. Because I really wanted to downsize on the cuts, especially with my previous animations. Uh, the sword exercise was one full fluid animation, but before that, the teaser trailer, that had like a lot of different cuts, and I used a lot of different scenes in order to sort of fill it out and pad for time. So I really want to downsize on that and use as few cuts as possible. So if you actually see like early on in this animation, this is all organic 2D animation where it's sort of like a zoom in, and then Father Jovial sort of gets up from the floor and he turns. And then it's really only cuts here where he sort of is kneeling, his wings unfurl before wrapping around his body, and then he jumps up. And then it's like one more cut. And then it zooms in to sort of like this wing cocoon where it wraps around Father Jovial's body before it expands outwards. The wings then extend, and there's like a pillar of light. So I really want to downsize. Like there's only 3 cuts in this animation, and everything else I'm trying to make as fluid and as clean looking as possible. Like I really want to make sure that this is clean and nice looking. And this has just been a fun and exciting stream where I just talked about everything really, sort of readjusting my ideas, readjusting my plans. Uh, but after this, I do want to do some more research, and I'll probably take a small break from animating. I'll probably go do some reading, actually. Some reading and research for this show. I'm still very serious about making my own show. I'll definitely have to do some more research for this, but like downsizing from 13 to 7 was a good idea. Having 4 dude protagonists and either like 7 or 12 antagonists is also a good idea as well. So yeah, redoing some things with my show, but nothing has really changed too much. It also gives me a chance to focus more on 7 main characters rather than trying to extend too far to entities that don't, I'm not going to say don't matter, but would dilute the story for quantity over actual substance. So 7, 4, and 3. 7, 4, 3, and 12. That those are like my big things that I'm shooting for. Ooh, and now that I've completed that, actually no, I can't do the second pass for this redone segment because I need to do the wings now. So I'll add a new layer. Coming along pretty good, but I do think I should call this stream to an end. At least for right now. I think I've talked enough, shared enough. Uh, Definitely after doing this stream, it's just awakened so many ideas for me. And this is an animation stream, so I don't want to spend this time reading a book or doing deep dives of the internet when I should just be trying to focus on one thing at a time. This has definitely reignited some creativity in me, as well as new ideas and concepts for character designs. And so I just want to say thank you all for coming. Thank you all for stopping by. And thank you all for inspiring me and being here as we sit and chill on this nice Friday day. And that's why I like to stream during noontime. It's the time when people have lunch, or it's the time when people are trying to find some sort of reprieve before they go back to work or go back to doing whatever it is that they had planned to do. So this was really nice. This was really fun. And this was just very fun. And I'm happy and I'm excited. And I can't wait to see what else happens. What's next on the agenda. I'll likely be reading, taking notes, working on some other things on the side, working on some new character designs, which is what I'm really excited for, and I can't wait to show you all. I might host like a special stream where I work on the main characters, but who knows what'll happen. Who knows what I have planned anyway. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for stopping by. I am now at 331 subscribers, so thank you all. Thank you all for stopping by Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art, and enjoying and sharing and just being with me and helping me build this nice community. We're chill here. We're just calm. We're here for the chill vibes and the nice second or two of a break from all this craziness. And yeah, I stream Tuesdays and Fridays around noon, around lunchtime, so that people have the time to just sit and chill, as they say, and enjoy themselves before they have to go back to work and deal with a bunch of crazy people. This is Father Jovial's Rest, a short animated film that I'm working on for one of the main characters of my Witches 13 world. I've decided to sort of not downscale or downsize my project, but just work on some shorts until I'm ready for my series, until I've garnered enough of a following, enough of a community to start my series proper. But I will be doing some more short animations on the side when I can. I've also taken to doing some freelance work, so please, by all means, hit up my Patreon, my Fiverr, my Buy Me a Coffee, or my email directly if you want some original work from me. I always look forward to doing work for people and just getting my name out there further. What else? I'm working on some short animations. I stream on Tuesdays and Fridays. I might work on a mini comic, or I might do some other sort of small thing like character art or character designs. Who knows when that'll be or what it'll be. And I think that's about it. Look out for some future videos. And yeah. Anyway, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share even. I also have a Patreon and a Buy Me a Coffee in the description below, as well as a Fiverr account if you want some original work from me. This has been Owoh's Corner, my own little corner of art. Yes, it is Owoh, O-W-O-H. I am half Nigerian. And yeah. I'll see you guys in my next video or stream. Bye.